Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper, with my fabulous Friday Facebook Live on Sunday afternoon. The rain or shine, it is stamping time. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Pacific Northwest, and I have a great card to share with you and how to make it. Over the weekend, well, the reason I didn't hold it on Friday, this Facebook Live, is because I was struggling with the directions and how to make it. This is the card I was going to make. I actually did get it made, but what was frustrating me was the fact that the border here is narrower here than it is up here. And it was driving me crazy because I like to have everything perfectly parallel. But I spent part of the weekend looking at all the other cards that are made like this, and they all are that way. So I thought, okay, forget that. This card had 3 layers to it, the card base, and then 2 layers on top, which made it a little more complicated. And I found another demonstrator who had a different, more simplified card, and I modified a little bit what she was doing, but the card we're going to make today is based on that. Let me see if I've got my notes. Sorry, but I didn't write down who it was that I was watching on her video, but she did an excellent job, and I really appreciate it. So this is the card we're going to make today, and it only has 2 layers to it. So we're going to start with the card base. Old Olive, 8.5 by 5.5. Going to fold it in half like usual. And score it well. Now you notice that on this card, it doesn't extend clear out to the edge. And that's what we're going to do next, is do some trimming. Now on this one, it was too, let's see, let me measure here. We measured 2.5. Right, this one is 2.5. Where's my other one? Oh, for Pete's sake, here it is. And this one was made by Lisa Curcio, and she only trimmed it. Well, she actually trimmed it from 2.5 from the fold. And this card we're going to do 2.5 placing the fold on the 4 1/4, and we're going to make a mark at the 2.5 mark. So there are different ways of doing this. Okay, so I'm going to put the fold on the 4 1/4, and then with a pencil, we're going to make a mark at, oh, got to scoot it down a little bit so we can see, at 2.5. Let me see, is that right? Oh, okay, not 2.5 from the fold, but 2.5 from this edge. 2.5. That makes a difference. And then we're going to cut it diagonally from this mark to the corner. So I'm lining it up on the paper trimmer, this mark and the corner point down there. And we cut it off. And save this piece. We're going to use it later. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the Designer Series paper. This is Daffodil Delight. Floral Delight, sorry. I'm going to put, I want the pattern to be this way, so I'm going to put this. Now this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to make a mark again at 2 1/2. Right there like that. I'm going to cut from the mark to the corner. And save the scrap. Now this should line up pretty close. Yep, looks great. So we'll adhere it. Come on. Sometimes seal can be very awkward, very obstinate. Seems like I get more seal on the floor sometimes than on my fingers than on my cardstock. But I have found that if you don't press real hard, it works better. Line that up like that. Erase my pencil mark. Marks plural. Okay, now for the inside, I'm going to burnish that one more time. For the inside, so you can write on it and people can read it, 4 by 5 1/4, basic white. If you had a greeting you wanted to stamp on the inside, I recommend that you stamp it first before you adhere it, so that if you make a mistake, you can turn it over. I'm going to take my chances. Actually, I think I'll probably just handwrite something here. Okay, so this is the card base. Now we're going to take, this was a scrap that we cut off here, like that. I was going to use this piece of the Designer Series paper, which is the reverse side of this pattern. But I messed around trying to learn the technique, and I used up all the scraps, so I don't have any. So I decided to use pecan pie. Now the pecan pie cardstock is a piece of cardstock that is 5 inches by 2 1/4. Yeah, 5 inches by 2 1/4. And you cut it diagonally from corner to corner, which I've already done. And that should fit well on this corner, like that was there. So adhere that. Now, if you're using Designer Series paper, particularly if you have a certain lay to the paper, you have to be careful which way you cut. Let me show you why. Well, I guess I threw away all my scraps. But if I had cut, like for instance this one, if I had cut this direction instead of this direction, it would have, the pattern would have fit on the thing upside down. That didn't explain it too well. Okay, now this piece you put onto your card like so, and you can put adhesive up to here. One strip will work for it. I had it lined up perfectly. Let's see if I can do it again. Don't want the corners to stick out over the card because this is going to fit into an envelope. So it goes like that. Now for the last piece, for this piece, I have a piece of cardstock, okay, of the green cardstock. I thought I had it here. I need to have 5" by 1.5" old olive. So I'll be right back. And we're going to cut it diagonally, like we did before. Because it's cardstock, it doesn't matter which direction you cut, because you can turn it over. This gets a little tricky. Getting it down without getting it to slide. Now, since it's got points on both ends, I'm going to start in the middle so that the points don't get smudged. Okay, so this makes up 2. You can save this one if you're going to make a second one. The reason why it doesn't matter which side you use, which direction you cut, is because of this. Okay, now this is the scrap that was left over from the designer series paper. And we're going to first trim it to 4 3/4. So I'm going to put it here. Can you see that? Sorry if it's not in the picture. I'm going to put it at 4 3/4. Cut off the end of it. And then we're going to put the corner here and line it up with the track. Oh, got to move it down. Make sure it's lined up straight. And make a pencil mark at 1 1/4. 1 1/4. And then we will trim it like we have before. Pencil mark the point. And down like that. This is scrap. Don't need that. And that will fit on here like so. And that gets positioned up here like so. And it doesn't line up exactly across parallel, but actually it gives more motion because these are fanning out. So I'm going to put adhesive part way down. I'm going to stick it up so it just matches the edges. Like that. Okay, so now we'll put some embellishments on it. I have cut out this flower. No. Where is it? This flower and the interior piece of that flower. I don't see it. Oh, it's on this flower and then the interior design of that, which is on the die is here. And always put on adhesive sheet on the back before you die cut. It will save you a lot of pain because it is so fine, the detail, so skinny, that it would be almost impossible to get glue on the paper without getting it on everything else. And it's so easy because all you have to do is peel the paper off like that. Now I got some holes that I need to poke out yet. And position it on the solid, the back. And it lines up so that these pieces here, let me bring it closer to the camera, this and this and this kind of follow along the curves of the flower petals. And then also have leaf that I cut out using this die. These are part of the bundle with the designer series paper and the stamp set. Again, I have adhesive on the back, adhesive sheet. With this size, you could use small dots of liquid, multi-purpose liquid glue. I'm going to put it down like so. And then the flower, I will just use some liquid glue. Some liquid glue. Need to hold it down pretty well. Just little dots, if you can get them. We do have a fine tip adhesive with a fine tip on it. It takes a little bit longer to dry, but I do like the fine tip. And at one point, I emptied it out of the glue that was in it and used the fine tip for the multi-purpose liquid glue. And that worked pretty well until the tip clogged up, of course. There. I'll put that on here over the leaf. Thought about putting a bow here instead of the flower, but I like the flower. Okay, now the greeting. Thanks. This is a piece that is 2 1/4 inches long by 3/4. I didn't want to have a bigger piece because I didn't want to take up too much of make it too busy down here. And the stamp is from the Everyday Arches. This stamp set, the thanks. I plan to send these out to the people, my customers who have purchased at least $50 during the month of May as a thank you gift, along with a little thank you gift. Using pecan pie ink. I'm going to trim the edges with paper snips because I want it to kind of go along with the angle here. Like that. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, and some Stampin' Dimensionals to pop it up a little bit. And then we need to do a little bit of embellishments. Always it's fun to put on embellishments. So let's put some little brass butterflies in with our flowers. There. It's almost flying upside down. I am so happy that these brass butterflies made it into the annual catalog because I use them a lot. Okay, so there you have it. Thank you with the fan fold. I like this cut better than this one, because the fan sticks out more than here. They're skinnier, they're more slender, but they show up more, I think. Now there is a special going on this month in June that I have to share with you. It's sweets on sale. And the one I used, let's see, the Designer Series paper is Okay, this designer series paper was carried forward in the online exclusive. And let me show you the rest of the suite. Part of the suite is still available. This is the stamp set and the dies that go with it. This cuts out the wishing and has a matte and a fine detail. So this is the bundle. And in the catalog, in the online exclusives and in this annual catalog, you can purchase anything that is within a suite. So this is a suite collection. All these products can be gathered under one number so that you don't have to say, oh, I want this stamp set. What number is that? And I want this stamp. Oh, what's that number? And, oh, what dies go with that? What's the number for that? You don't have to do all that searching. You can just order the suite number here, and you will get all of the products from the suite. But during the suite sale, when you buy something from the suite, a suite, like the designer series paper or the whole suite, whichever you like, you can purchase a second thing at 50% off, with the 50% off being given to the lesser price. So if I were to buy the designer series paper, and then I wanted, and you can mix and match, and then I said, oh, I think I'll buy this suite. It's $80.50. Get the whole suite for 50% off. Great, great, great. No, this you would be charged the whole price. You would get the designer series paper at 50%. So if you don't want a whole suite, but you want the designer series paper, and you like the designer series paper, or you like the embellishments here, buy the designer series paper from this suite, and you'll get the embellishments for 50% off. And there's no limit to the amount of items you can get full price and 50% off. So this runs through the end of June. It's a great opportunity to get some of the wonderful products that are on the online exclusive and in the new catalog. If something from the suite is not available any longer, you can't get the whole suite, but you can get all the products that are still available. And it is as long as products last. So some items may sell out fast, and they won't be restocking them most likely. At any rate, I'm glad you were watching. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. My blog is soggystamper.com, and I will put this up on the blog with the measurements for the thing and a link to this video. If you need any of the products, you can either go to creationsbysue.stampinup.net, or if it's much easier just to go to my blog, soggystamper.com. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a shop 24/7. Click on that button and it'll take you right to my online store. So if you have any questions, email me, sue@soggystamper.com, and I will put this video up on Facebook, on YouTube this afternoon. My YouTube channel is The Soggy Stamper. Thanks for watching, and have a great week. We'll see you hopefully next Friday at 4 o'clock. Bye-bye.